There I am.
Here I is.
Sorry, it's been a minute. Hey,
It's been a minute.
It's our off season. What do you expect?
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing?
Yeah. I'm just looking at the Bruins wholesale trade-off. I mean, my goodness.
Oh, yeah. So we get to do fun stuff now and just kind of talk about trades and free agents and the start of the baseball season and basketball tournaments and all kinds of fun stuff. Hockey trades.
Bunch of mother puckers.
So the last time we convened, guys, this happened. I got to just remind everybody that, this did actually happen a few weeks ago.
I'm a choker. I'm a trash can. Jalen Hurts absolutely destroyed me tonight. And the Eagles O-line pounded me raw. My cheeks are sore from all the pounding I took tonight. They didn't even use any protection. The Eagles O-line needs to practice safe sacks. You can't just pound me raw all night. And the refs did not get the memo over the week. They usually help me out a lot, but tonight I finally got exposed. Even my best friend Zebras couldn't save me from this demolition. And I saw Tom Brady in the booth tonight and told him I was about to take his GOAT title away. But that dude brought me bad luck, man. He put some voodoo on me tonight. Now I can never be mentioned as the GOAT after this embarrassing performance. And Travis Kelce was too worried about fixing his hair the whole game, trying to look cute for Taylor Swift. He went ghost when I needed him most. And I'm going to announce a ban tonight. Taylor Swift can no longer attend my games. This girl just brings my aura points down. So, Travis, take her wherever you want, but just don't bring her to my games. She can't be stealing my spotlight. And Andy Reid, you're a great coach, but I think it's time for you to hang them up after tonight. He came out with a horrible game plan. And I couldn't even breathe out there. I have a conspiracy theory that he was trying to make me look bad out there tonight. I'm lucky I didn't get injured. Our O-line is absolute garbage.
That might be a good place to start.
I like the Taylor Swift band. That's a good start.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you guys see the picture of him? He got his hair cut. I have to find it and send it to you guys.
Oh, did he shave that big?
Yeah, he said, "I'm trying to look mature for my children. I am a father."
Oh, well.
Maybe he's cutting down on the wind resistance. I don't know.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Woo.
So, called his O-line trash in that AI generated press conference.
I mean, yeah.
No Tooney gone. Like Edson, you hit me up the other night about that.
I can believe that.
Right?
They must have a plan, but geez, it's like what a start. When you have to shore up your worst weakness on the offensive line, you get rid of one of the better ones.
Like the only guy who can block. Yeah.
Jeez.
In their defense, I mean, Tooney is getting up there in age. He was better in New England than he was.
Yeah, okay.
City, but he was still the best player on the O-line Kansas City had. But
I mean, I assume they're targeting Baltimore's guy there, Staley.
Ronnie Stanley.
But geez, why would Baltimore even allow that to him to go out there?
Well, salary cap, and salary cap plays a lot into all of this, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So ask the Browns.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Did you see, by the way, I'm going to go back to this view for a while. Did you see that Myles Garrett requested a meeting with Jimmy Haslam and Haslam won't talk to him? I mean, Haslam decided to new Dan Snyder.
That's messed up.
They're just digging himself further because he's just not going to play. That's all. No one's forcing him to go out there if they don't at least meet with him. That's so bad.
Yeah, that's so. You're looking now probably at a mini camp holdout minimum, right? He's gonna protest this. He's gonna try to force his way out of there. If you trap him there, he's not gonna want to play for you. Like the guy wants to go win a Super Bowl. And he deserves to. He's been stuck.
The thing is, the Browns are so stupid. It's like they're not anywhere close. So what's the problem? You could probably get the most out of them right now, like a bunch of picks right now, and then start up. And I know I saw they restructured. I know there's a lot of this is all that's happening right now in NFL, restructuring of salaries to free up cap space. They restructured Watson's salary. It's like, so they're freeing up cap space. So why not do that? Like
Well,
this is the highest thing you could get.
I gotta highly recommend again. I keep saying it, but That's Good Sports on YouTube. Brandon Perna, he did a great video about the Browns, and what they're doing is they're restructuring Watson's contract by turning a lot of it into signing bonuses, but it's kicking their dead cap penalty down the road.
Yeah,
so
I
it's
understand.
still, the dead cap is still accumulating. It's just they're kicking the can down the road.
Yeah.
They're making more pain for themselves. They've just got to rip the Band-Aid off, I think. I think they're extending their pain instead of just like we gotta just eat it for a couple years here, and it is what it is.
How
but
long
you're
is
right.
Watson? How long is Watson tied up to them?
Through 27, I believe.
I just sent you a picture.
You did. Let's see what you sent me.
I sent you the picture of Mahomes' haircut.
Oh, let's see this. Oh, all right. Yeah, he looks like age appropriate now.
Yeah, no, he looks like, I sent it to you, Edson, too, if you want to look at it sometime.
Age appropriate.
Well,
yeah, I think let's see. I don't even think he's going to be playing at all this coming season. Watson, I mean, I think he's on the belt for the whole thing.
He's messed up.
Oh,
whoa! Did you just swear? Did you just censor yourself? You're gone. Your mic's gone. Your mic crapped out. I heard this horrible noise, Bruce, and you're
right in the middle of a sentence, too.
Yeah. You might have to do what you did before and in and out. In and out burger. But yeah, no, you're right, Edson, when you mentioned it. Like, Garrett would bring back so much in draft stock right now, and you could put a whole bunch of young guys on the team and kind of rebuild from scratch, which is what you have to do.
You
made the worst trade. You made that. We thought the Herschel Walker trade was bad back in the day. Yeah.
They're finally off the hook for the whole time.
Yeah, the Browns said, "I hold my beer," and showed the Vikings how it's really done. So let's see if Bruce is okay now. You back?
Oh, wow.
No.
I still can't hear him.
Yeah. It made this horrible noise. I hope it didn't
just before. I know that might have been oh boy.
Well, we'll plow through until he figures that out.
If he's going into StreamYard again to make sure because I always do that every single time.
Yeah.
Even though I'm confident I still do it.
StreamYard's janky as hell. The Falcons are going to keep Cousins.
Yeah, that's what I see. It's like, but they've clearly made him a backup. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I mean, look, Penix looked good, but that's such a small sample size. What do you start 3-4 games at the end of the year?
It's either that or their mindset's like, well, we don't want to send them out there. We know there's going to be a lot of injuries early on. Let's keep them until there's and then maybe we can get something good, something like that. I don't know. He's kind of up there, though. Who knows what people give for him?
Yeah. It could be the thing. They're going to potentially pay him to be a backup.
Yeah.
Which hey, he's a veteran backup. If something does happen to Penix, who runs around and come on, like I said, he played a couple of games.
You're right. It is a small.
It could be a totally different situation next year. That sophomore jinx could hit him. You've got a guy you can rely on because the Falcons are right there. They could have made the playoffs this year.
I know. Oh, they're so close. Yep. Obviously, he's not going to be happy.
Yeah.
Sitting in the backups.
Yeah. But, we'll see. Hang on, I'm just doing something here real quick.
I couldn't. Geno Smith. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And I know Seattle earlier, they had just outright released Metcalf, I think. And so they're looking at trying to.
There was another shock, right? DK Metcalf.
Yep. I couldn't believe that either.
And then, now Geno. So it looks like Seattle's going for a complete rebuild. McMahon wants to do. He doesn't want the Pete Carroll leftovers. He kind of wants to put.
Yeah. I mean, they tried it. They tried it for a year.
Yeah. So, are you back? Nope. Still not working. Check your settings. Check the settings gear and make sure it's your headset. Yeah, so with DK Metcalf out there, does that change? That might change my team's thinking. here in the offseason. They need a wide receiver in the worst way. We saw Deebo Samuel slide over to Washington.
Yep, that was a big move.
Kind of a peculiar
Hi
move.
Guys, can you hear
There
me
you
now?
go. Now,
Yes.
perfect.
Now you're required to finish that sentence you were saying 20 minutes ago.
I don't remember what I did 20 seconds ago. What are you talking about?
I think we were
What
talking
was the
about
sentence
Myles
I said?
Garrett. But you had a point about Myles Garrett.
Well, he's
Probably.
young, he's strong, and he'll end up in Washington because they just cut Jace Allen.
Yeah, I think Washington's been his. I mean, it's been like where he wants his desired location. I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Let's face it, the guy will look great in like half the team, half the defenses. It's like,
Right.
I think Detroit would throw a large.
Oh my
package
gosh!
to get him to. Although, see, the problem, you got to be careful here because, like what Edson mentioned, Garrett's going to bring back a big haul, right?
Yeah.
How much do you want to decimate your existing team?
That's true.
Or your future? I would think a team like the Lions, who are right there on the bubble, they're like it's win now, would probably sacrifice that future over Washington. Washington might want to hold on to some of those picks because they just got a franchise quarterback. He's going into his second year. They're looking at a prosperous decade. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Would Garrett make that big of a difference? Probably, but how much do you want to give up for him?
I guess yeah.
Just remember one thing. Just remember one thing.
Okay.
As much as they talk about it, I drove by there yesterday. RFK still stands.
Yeah, you're going to send us
It's such
video.
an eyesore. It hasn't come down yet. It's such an eyesore.
Are you going to go to the demo?
Yes, if I go to the demo, I will do a live report along with our other live report, Keith. I have to arrange that with you.
Yeah, I'll have to give you the login creds so you can log in and actually stream it live. If you want.
Right.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
No, the first video you want to see. The second video you definitely don't want to see.
Bruce in the shower?
No, it's called the colonoscopy video.
Oh gosh,
I got to do that too, man.
I know that.
Before. We got to.
Yeah, we're gonna do a live stream.
That's the 2-for-1 colonoscopy live stream.
You want me to go blind? Yeah, there you go. Oh my gosh.
Ooh, mission accomplished.
I'll really have to rely on the guy from the future with that one.
Yes.
Yeah. So Keith, you're right. It depends on how in Washington's mindset, how close do they think they are?
Yes.
On whether they make such a big move. I mean,
I think Washington's got more of a extended window than Detroit. I think Detroit's will start shrinking in the next year or two because of salary cap. They can't keep everybody. That whole team is so talented. We'll see. But I think the shocking news was waking up to Geno Smith being dealt to the Raiders.
Yeah. I know that too. You guys told me this morning. I'm like, where did that come from?
Yeah, I stumbled on it. I thought it was somebody speculating. Then I realized it was real.
I thought it was just clickbait. Someone was making it up. But well, we were wondering where are Raiders going to get their quarterback? There it is. And now we're wondering where's Seattle. Well, Seattle we talked about. Well, no, we didn't. Where they're going to target Darnold, I think.
Sam Darnold.
Right.
That's what I hear. Doesn't seem like Minnesota's interested. They didn't franchise tag him.
Nope.
So
I knew that.
Oh, I see JJ McCarthy listing everywhere with Minnesota's webpage. It's like now he's our future. He's healthy now. We can go forward because it wasn't Darnold like this is a stopgap measure until McCarthy got healthy.
Yes, they didn't expect that out of Sam. I don't think at all.
Right. No one did. No one did.
Yeah. Darnold wasn't even there to be a starter until the injury happened. They were happy with the way McCarthy was doing preseason. So.
And let's he turned into a pumpkin. He turned into Sam at the end.
Right.
He reverted to Sam Darnold, and I think that's what hurt him as far as where he goes now and how much he's going to be able to earn as a UFA. But we'll see. But Geno, back with Pete Carroll, this is great. And I just want to show you guys this quick video I found this morning about the relationship those two have. It's really awesome.
You know, Gino never gave up on himself.
Your relationship with Pete is a very special one. What is the thing that he's taught you the most?
He's given me that self-confidence. You know, he's given me kind of a new lease on life.
Let's go, come on. Nice and chill. Have fun playing ball.
I've always been a little hard on myself. I'm always like, you're not good enough, and you know, but he helped me change the way I spoke to myself a little bit. Don't panic, don't panic. Nobody panic.
What he did is he allowed his voice to become the voice. In doing so, he just did everything exactly like you would hope he would do it.
Hey, I need you. I need you in the second half. I need you locked in. Hey, look, whatever happened, it's on me. It ain't never on you. And you got to get the ball, so I got to find you, all right? But I need you to give me your best in the second half, all right? Come on.
That was
Pretty
awesome.
man.
That's awesome. That's
Nice
awesome.
piece. Yeah.
That's the key there. I remember him playing with the Jets. It didn't seem like he had any self-confidence at all. And I know, there's a lot of coaching issues going on in that franchise, but that's what Pete Carroll gave him, and there he was. He revitalized his whole career.
And it's funny. I want to say two great things about Gino. One, you got to admire his persistence, because he got kicked around the league for 8-9 years.
Mm-hmm.
He finally settled in Seattle, and Pete revived his career. I mean, a lot of guys would have given up, right? I mean, as much as he doubted himself, he still believed enough in himself to hang on, right? And the second thing, that Baller Mariners cap he had on.
Yeah, that was cool.
So, I'm sorry, Bruce. Go ahead.
No, he took the cap off and it said, "Property of Ken Griffey Jr." Oh, okay.
The way these athletes trade memorabilia, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, you're not right.
Yeah. But going forward in this off-season show, before we hit our NFL season again, I did want to add a feature, and it's scrolling on the bottom of the screen. For people watching, if you want to join us as a guest on one of these shows, just send us a DM on the X Twitter machine. It's right in the thing there. And we'll send you the link, and you can hop in here with us, and we can talk sports.
Of course. That would be cool.
That's a good idea.
Thank you. Let's move on to baseball.
We can finally get rid of Edson.
No, that's an even better idea.
No, the thing is, though, hold on. Edson just texted me his Super Bowl pick, so hold on. Let me see what we got. Edson texted me last week. He said, "I got my Super Bowl picks in and the score."
Yeah, it was.
And he was right. I was like so surprised.
It was right on target, man.
Edson, you're the Jimmy the Greek of the modern sports prognostication. You're
Bruce,
awesome.
You realize we're never going to beat him in picks. He's just that good.
We're already behind by 9 games right now. Pays not to pick the Pro Bowl.
So Bruce must be excited because his team is probably going to win the whole thing again.
Oh, yeah.
Dodger Blue, baby.
Baseball needs a salary cap. I'm just saying it. Yankees, bad news already. Garrett Cole, elbow.
I just saw that a couple of minutes ago. I was going to mention that.
Yeah. And Bruce, you're a Dodger guy. What do you think of Bellinger going to the Yankees? Is he washed or what? He didn't play that great with the Cubs.
I think he had one season. He was really, really Mr. Everything.
I remember.
I still think Cody Bellinger has one of the best swings in baseball when he connects. But when he misses, forget it. Forget it.
Small detail about connecting with the baseball is kind of
right.
Yeah. I remember when he was a Dodger, he was like, when I went to Dodger games a lot back then, it was easier to get in because they were decent, but they weren't what they are. Mm-hmm. And he was like, everybody was wearing Cody Bellinger jerseys.
Right.
Going back a decade. Then we went to Chicago. He didn't live up to those expectations. I thought
he signed that big contract, and I'm like, oh man, what's going to happen? And then he peaked one year. He's been slowly going.
Yeah, he's been like a 250 hitter. He comes up with some clutch dingers. You know, he's good with the RBIs, but he wasn't what they thought they were getting. And now the Yankees got him. And I don't know if it's a scrap heap deal or what, but I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, they're just trying to see if they can get him somewhat back.
I don't know.
And what you said at the beginning, like, I know this is still out there, not right now, left field, so to speak, but baseball is so different from the NFL in terms of their regional, like the money that they make. Like the Dodgers spent the most money, and yet they still made money because they get so much out of their regional TV package, whereas most teams out there don't get anything. And there's going to be such a disparity, like you said, without the salary cap. I think they're kind of heading towards like, is the collective bargaining agreement after the 2026? I think it's coming up.
I think it's after next season. Yeah.
They're going to head to such a big fight, I think, because the owners, I think, are really going to push for some kind of, especially like the bottom like 20 which is most of the league. They can't compete at all.
No, and I've heard some baseball analysts make the argument that if you look at the last 20 World Series, there's almost a new champion.
I understand that.
But you'll get the A's come out of nowhere for a year because they'll get their team to where they're good enough, they go for it, and then they have to dismantle it. The Pirates 10 years ago were that way. Now the Pirates have been losing seasons 10 years straight since they were good, right? You see it over and over again with teams like that, the White Sox and the
Marlins did it for like
Marlins,
right? And Marlins did that, yes.
Yeah, and
Arizona,
everything into it for 1 year because they, that's their chance, and then that's it. Yeah.
And then that's it. The Kansas Cities. So, they tried this. How many decades ago now? 3, back about 30 years ago, I think, right? Or is after that major strike in '94,
right?
Where they instituted this income tax, this team income tax, where it's so like if the Yankees want to spend $250 million on a roster, they have to pay a luxury tax.
To share some of it
To the rest of the league, but that money's not being used properly. Case in point, Bob Nutting of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Believe it or not, the Pirates have one of the widest profit margins in the game because Bob Nutting will not spend the money he gets on players. So he gets scrap heap guys like Tommy Pham as a free agent instead of going after a decent first baseman, right? Like a really good, like a Rizzo or somebody. He won't spend the money. He'd rather pocket it because he knows, one, he's got the regional TV contract, and two, that stadium, because it's so beautiful and it's something to do, will get people in there, especially when the opposing team comes in with Bryce Harper on it. It'll fill up, right? So,
right.
It's a problem, and I think the only way to force parity like the NFL has is to do the salary cap thing.
You were right about that stadium. I was going to mention that. I've never been there, but I heard that stadium in Pittsburgh is gorgeous.
It is. I went there in 2003. It was 2 years old at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And I grew up going to Yankee Stadium, right? And I walked in there and I called my brother and I said, "You're going to hate me for saying this, but Yankee Stadium needs to be blowed up. This place is incredible." And then ironically, the same people who built PNC Park built the new Yankee Stadium.
Only thing, since I'm not a Yankees fan at all, okay, as you know, but the only thing I would do when I would go to Yankee games, because sometimes we get tickets through the bank when I used to work at the bank.
We went to one, Bruce. We went to one together.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
We're right, Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yeah, it was against Toronto. I remember that.
All right. And we both said, before we start, we have to listen to something. And we listened to Bob Shepard, and we're like, that's so cool. That's so cool. That's the only reason I was like, listening to Bob Shepard's voice was like amazing. Because he just.
Number 2, Derek Jeter.
Number 2. He was the greatest. Now batting, number 23, Don Mattingly, number 23.
Not only, and they had Eddie Layton on the keyboards.
Oh my gosh!
Those were the glory days. Bob Shepard and Eddie Layton, and
mm-hmm.
Now it's like any other stadium where they just blare dance music and
Yeah, sorry.
but so the A's are playing in a minor league ballpark in Sacramento all year.
You think they'll sell out?
I think it holds like 7,000. It should.
Well,
It's gonna be tight. You never know.
But they're wearing this patch on their jerseys. This is real. They're
Wow.
going to Vegas.
Jeez.
We'll see.
Wow.
We'll see. But they're talking what 2027, 28 before.
Right. I don't think you even have the land yet. I mean, they're still feuding. I mean, what's fighting over where they're gonna do it in Vegas?
Yeah. This is kind of ballsy if you ask me. I would laugh my ass off if it backfires on them and they don't move to Vegas and they end up somewhere else like Utah. So, who knows? But hey, come to Hartford. Well, I think we'd support baseball up here.
You guys came to support a hockey team.
I know, but the yard goats sell out, and that's 8,000-10,000.
There you go. They could come to Hartford.
Yeah. They'll sell.
Why
that
not?
out.
If they're only gonna, we could give them 20,000 a night. I think easily.
Right.
So yeah. So you know what I want to do in a couple of weeks is before the season starts or right around the start of the season is we'll have to do our picks.
Deal.
For where everybody's going to land here. But I will say, watch out for the Cincinnati Reds. I'm just going to say that right now because Terry Francona is their manager.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's the best. He's good.
And I'm mad at the Pirates for missing that completely because he could take a team with that, like they're young and talented and just get them. Not that they're going to compete for the division or anything like that. I still think the Brewers are the class of the division, but he could get them in the wild card. And then who knows? I mean, he could do some damage in the postseason. Francona is so good. So.
The thing I like about Terry Francona was that video when Trevor Bauer was acting the fool when he was trying to leave the mound, and Francona said, "No, you come here. He just grabbed him. So we'll talk in the dugout, but don't you ever show me up like that. And he just said, "I'm the boss, and you're not."
Well, he was a player in the 70s. He came from that era, where it's sometimes you get these younger managers. You have this in football and everywhere. These younger coaches that want to be buddy with the players, right? And maybe that's what you have to do with today's player. But then you have the guys that come from the skip. There's the skip and everybody else, right? And you don't get in the face of the skip. So
who's your all-time favorite manager?
Wow, that's a good question.
Whoa.
Jetson, you want to field that?
I have to think about this. Oh my gosh.
I mean, when it comes straight to mind, first thought would be Joe Torre.
That's it.
And for the simple fact that when the Yankees hired Joe Torre, I thought that was a huge mistake because he had failed everywhere he'd been. He failed in Atlanta. He failed in New York with the Mets. He failed. He was the Phillies, right?
No, I don't think he managed the Phillies. I don't think so.
I know he's Atlanta. I know he's at the Mets. Oh, St. Louis. He was at St. Louis. That's where he was. St. Louis, he failed. He just didn't. He was a 500 manager at best, and then he came to New York and he was able to handle all those egos, all those superstars, and get the most out.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. He
did
such a good job with that.
And he might have set the template for how today's managers are, where they're the boss, but they can still be friendly enough and personable enough, and they're not the Billy Martin type that's just like my way goes. Maybe I could break it into eras.
Yeah, I got one. I got one that's old school.
Like in the 70s, I'd go like with Earl Weaver or Tommy Lasorda.
Okay. How about this one? I'm a huge Dodgers fan. I love Lasorda, but he was too Hollywood sometimes for me. And this guy, I hated. I mean, he was a great manager, but the team he managed, I hated him so much. My choice is Sparky Anderson.
Oh yes, Sparky was
okay.
Yep.
Sparky was good because with the 70s Reds, they were just like blew through everybody. And Sparky Anderson is like, go out there and play. We're good. And he did the same thing in Detroit.
Right. Yep. Remember in '84, would they get off to like what they were 24-0 or something like that, or
They were after 4. I have the book on them. It's called Bless You Boys. At one time they were 35-5.
Yeah, I mean it was over by May.
Wow.
Right.
That's crazy.
And Jack Morris pitched the no-hitter his first start, and everyone said,
Jeez.
"Okay, this season's over."
I remember, there's always that saying that you can't win a pennant in April, but you can lose one. That team proved the opposite.
Yeah.
Win one. They were the exception to the rule because, man, it was obvious right out of the gate.
By Mother's Day, the season was over.
It was over. And that's before there was no wild card. So
yeah,
the AL East was settled right away because that Detroit there was only 2 divisions back then.
Right.
The AL West, and it was pretty much settled by May 1st.
Right. What do we do for the rest of the season? Watch Detroit.
Baltimore had a year like that too. Not long ago. Remember they got off to like a 21-0.
Yeah, they did. Yep.
But they didn't sustain. They kind of stumbled down the stretch.
Yeah, a lot of them are like that. It's like you just can't sustain it through the whole year.
Yeah. So baseball, it'll be interesting this year, but you can expect all the usual suspects to be back. Dodgers, Yankees, Mets, Braves, Phillies, Houston, right?
I hate that team.
Probably Cleveland. Baltimore will be good. The only thing you can say is the AL East. I think the Red Sox will be better this year.
I put that down if we started talking about baseball.
Toronto's kind of an enigma to me too, and I don't know how you guys feel about the Blue Jays, but they're sort of soft shopping Vlad Guerrero Jr. right now.
Right, I saw that. I was going to ask you about him.
Like it's almost like they're not like they feel like they can compete, but they're also at the same time like maybe we can't, and we should get something back for this guy before he's a free agent. It's kind of weird. That's worth keeping an eye on. If they move Guerrero, then I think they're mailing it in. But it's kind of fast. I heard that this week, and I was like, that's shocking to me.
I was gonna send you a text.
I thought they were going to be better last year, and they kind of fell off, and now it looks like they might throw their hands up. Weird.
Well, they're trying to figure out whether they can be better or not, and if not, then, like you said, get something for them.
Yeah, I think Toronto. I mean, this might be far fetched. It might be reckless speculation. I think Toronto's looking for a new stadium.
Oh,
I've heard that because the old Sky Dome is going to be. I mean, when it first came out, I was like, oh, wow. Now it's just like it's getting older, and Toronto's a beautiful city, so they probably have the land to do something. But I've heard this like whispers they might be looking for a new stadium.
I think that's a wise move. I went the year it opened. My friend Ray and I took a field trip up, mostly to buy cheap hockey gear. But we were young and had a limited income, and we knew we could get gear cheaper up there. So, because hockey equipment's like regular clothing up there, right? So, so we took a ride up, and we stayed for a week, and we saw the Red Sox play the Blue Jays and the Yankees play the Blue Jays.
Cool.
And yeah, it was cool. That's when the Yankees were awful, with Mel Hall and then all those guys. That's when they won like 60 games. They were terrible.
He had the nicest hairstyle. He had the nice Jerry curl. I remember that.
Did you see there's a 3-part documentary on Peacock about that 90s Yankee team.
Oh, really? Oh,
and Mel Hall's in prison for pedophilia. These guys were out of control.
Oh man!
What was the guy from Oakland? They had Luis Polonia, and
oh gosh,
they were a bad team. Bad on and off the field.
Yeah.
It's worth a watch. But anyway, yeah, the Sky Dome back then. You're right, Bruce. It was state of the art. It was amazing. It had the Hard Rock Hotel in the back and the retractable roof, which was a novel thing at the time. Now everybody's got one. But it's dated because all in all, it's just one of these big bowls. It's like one of those 70s bowls with a retractable roof on it. So they should get a new field with natural grass, and if you're gonna have a retractable roof, put natural grass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that makes no sense not to do that.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because, okay, I'm going to show my age again. When they built the Edson, stop smirking. When they built the Astrodome, and people were talking about, oh, this is amazing. We play baseball indoors. This is the greatest. Then no one took in consideration the glass or what they used for the top of the stadium. And I don't know about you all know this, but they didn't. It gets very, very warm in Houston during the summertime.
Yeah.
And they put grass down and they said, how come the grass is turning brown? And they got different colors of the grass on the Astrodome because the sun was coming down and burning holes into the grass. It was a multicolored field almost.
Yeah.
So
they had the greenhouse effect.
Right.
Yeah. Have you guys? I mean, when I went to the Sky Dome, because it was the middle of summer, they actually had the roof open both games we went to, so we weren't actually at an indoor game. Have you been to an indoor game, a baseball game, in a dome?
No, I haven't.
No, I want to go to the place in Phoenix, Bank One. I gotta check that out sometime.
I went
Chase
to
Field.
I went to a Marlins game 2 years ago when I was on a job in Florida, and it was so hot they closed the roof, and it's weird. And it's weird to be like, it's perfectly air conditioned, perfectly climate controlled, and there's a baseball game, and there's and you're inside. It's like you're in a big gym. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So, and there you go. Speaking of domes, another team that's playing in a minor league park this year will be the Tampa Bay Rays.
Now that might be a stretch for them to sell out.
Because the Tropicana Dome got ravaged by a hurricane there, and they're not going to rebuild it. They shouldn't. That place is a dump. So I guess they're playing where the Yankees do spring training for the next year or two, and I guess they got approval to build a new park, an outdoor stadium. So
okay. Despite
the fact that they usually sell 10,000 seats unless the Yankees or the Dodgers or the Mets come to town, or the Red Sox, right? I think I would have moved this team back to Montreal. I think the Expos need to come back. I want the I saw a guy last week with the old Expos hat on, and I stopped him. I was like, dude, that hat is great.
One of my first memories of baseball was we would go to Montreal. And we have some friends up from Montreal, and they would walk up to my parents and our friends. This guy walked up and say, "Oh, you've got to see Le Grand Orange. He's the greatest baseball player of all time." They were talking about Rusty Staub, who used to play for the Expos way back in the day. And they would talk about Yuppie when Tommy Lasorda threw Yuppie out of the game. But that was a happening back in Montreal when they were playing. I mean, was it in '94?
Yes.
Before the strike, when the Yankees and the Expos were just like the best teams in the league. I mean, Montreal was unstoppable that year, if I remember correctly.
They had quite the lineup. I mean, they had Andre Dawson, Delino DeShields, Tim Raines, Pedro Martinez. If we pulled up that roster, it'd be out of our minds blown who they had on that team. In that strike that I'll never forgive baseball for.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, we might actually be heading towards another one, but that's for another couple of years to go, because I don't think the players union is ever going to accept a salary cap, and I think they're gonna just stuck it there and maybe go to a strike, but whatever. We'll see.
I just, to have the World Series canceled. And that was the year I was interning in the sports department at our local Fox affiliate. And we had the baseball strike and the hockey strike. The worst possible time to be working in sports.
that is quite a rare combination.
That was the year of the rise of the Lady Yukon Huskies. So that was the big sports story, because there was nothing else to cover. It was crazy. But I hope you're wrong, Edson, but
I hope I'm wrong too. It's just this thing is just not gonna. I mean, they're heading towards like a big renewal of the agreement, and I think I really think they're gonna just dig their heels in on this,
and hurt the sport in the
and
process.
at a time where they really can't afford it, because it's not like they've been kind of on the rise. It's like the NFL is clearly way above and beyond all the other major sports, and they can't really afford to. They go on an extended strike now. It's like it's gonna almost destroy them. Jeez.
I agree. They're the only major of the 4 major sports. They're the only one without a salary cap.
Right.
So, I mean, they kind of have to figure something out, because it's just it's too inequitable. It's just out of control, where the haves and the have-nots are so far apart.
I just think that the way they are, it's just gonna. It may take like a real bite out of their living in order to reach that type of agreement. I don't think it's going to be like just an easy to give into that. But.
I don't want to oversimplify either, but Bruce is a Packers fan, and there's to me, exhibit A of how a salary cap works, because you have a team in the middle of nowhere, Wisconsin, owned by the citizens of the town, and other people, of course, too. But they're able to put together a competitive team year after year after year, because they have the financial assistance to do so. Maybe baseball needs to somehow get well. Here's a baseball story we forgot to talk about. ESPN dropped the TV package 3 years premature this year.
Wow.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I didn't see that. When did this happen?
That is really
like 2 weeks ago. Let me look it up real quick. So ESPN, they ditched out of their obligation. So, like where football benefits, because Roger Goodell is able to sell the entire league
right.
television package, and then it gets dispersed.
It's a national, it's less regional, so baseball
like you were saying, right? So that they got to figure out a better way to get a national baseball deal. They sell the MLB, whatever they call it, Game Pass or whatever they call that, the thing, extra innings. I bought it because I watched the Pirates. They're out of market. It's $150 a person. That's not a killer deal for 162 game.
Because
you can watch the whole league. I can watch anybody I want. I can watch the Dodgers every day if I want.
And you have spring till fall. That's quite a big
right.
Yeah.
And they give you, the preseason games and replay. You could, it's well worth the 150. When you break it down, it's like what, $20-something a month. But they don't have what the NFL has. And if they could figure out how to more evenly distribute revenue across all the teams. Yeah. And I don't even know can you force an owner like Bob Nutting in Pittsburgh, like you have to spend X percentage of league disseminated revenue on players. So like when he gets a luxury tax from the Dodgers and Yankees, instead of putting it in his pocket, he's got to spend it on players.
Oh, I totally. It would have to be, those conditions would have to be, if they agree to a salary cap, every team needs to reach within like the 5 or 10% of the actual cap there.
Oh wow! After this season,
that has to be in there.
Yeah, because that's part of the problem too. Is you look at an owner like that, he's got the money and he's not using it.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. I just pulled this up.
Wow.
Name, if you can figure this out, name the top 4 teams for payroll in baseball.
Oh, I would say right off the top of my head, Dodgers,
Yankees, Mets.
No, not the Red Sox. They cut payroll.
Dodgers, Yankees, Mets. Atlanta, I know it's got to be the 3.
Atlanta, Mets. The Mets are up there.
Yeah, you got 3 of the 4. There's one that surprised me.
Yeah, I knew I wasn't going to get all 4. Yeah.
Number 1 is the Dodgers. Number 2 is the Mets.
Yep.
Number 3 is the Phillies.
Oh, okay. That's right.
And number 4 is the Yankees. Now, what team has the smallest payroll?
It's got to be Pittsburgh or Tampa Bay.
Marlins.
Right. The Marlins, you're right. $47 million. The Dodgers have the highest, 321.
Yep.
$321 million.
320.
And the thing is, they spent that much and still are making a profit. Do you realize they're still making a profit because
You know what it is?
that regional TV deal. It's like they got that alone is worth like over 300 million.
Not just that, Dodger dogs. Dodger dogs are very good.
Yeah. Okay.
I've got to go. That's on my bucket list. I've never been to Dodger Stadium.
Right.
Really, Bruce? I've been there like 6 times. It's fun. Not fun to get in and out of course, but it's actually the last time I was there. Quick little anecdotal story. My daughter was 3, I think, at the time, and she wanted to go. I want baseball, and it was the last game of the year. It was in end of September, and I said, okay, well, if you want to go. And it was the Dodgers. Who the heck were they playing? San Diego Padres. And it was Kershaw was pitching.
Oh.
And we went, and she was only 3, so we didn't make the whole game, but we got decent seats down right over the first base dugout, and we're like 10 rows back, and it was football Sunday, nobody was there really, and so we got French fries and stuff, and she was feeding me French fries. We had our little Steelers jerseys on, our matching Troy Polamalu shirts. And I didn't know this because we left early, but people in the parking lot stopped us and said, we saw you guys up on the Jumbotron. She was feeding you French fries.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, no way. So flash forward a couple weeks, I was working at a sports broadcast expo in New York and at the time, and job I was doing, and a guy from the Dodgers was there. He ran the in-game entertainment. And I said, oh, do you guys save the Jumbotron recordings? And he goes, oh, yeah. And I said, I was there at the last game. And people told me I was on the screen with my daughter. Can you get me that video? And he said, sure. He gave me his card. I emailed him. I never got the video, but but yeah, kind of a cool little story, right?
Yeah.
I was looking so forward to watching that video.
I know. I wish I had.
I thought you were leading up to. Oh, I got.
I know it had the bad ending.
But anyway, Bruce said New Orleans had like what 47 million was their total payroll. That's like 2 players on the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Yeah. The bad boy, and the ball boy.
Or the Mets.
Or Shohei Ohtani all by himself. Yeah, it's
right. That's right. That's crazy. Yeah.
So that's
and he'll have $23 million to play with after he gets his 47 million.
Yeah. So, and how can you, if you're a fan of those kind of teams, how can you even be optimistic? Yeah. Baseball just becomes something to do on a night in summer.
I mean, in the middle of the summer, when there's like, not a lot to do, then you go there.
Right. So they've got to fix that. We know every year, even though if you're a Jets or a Browns fan going into the NFL season, you have a shot, right? in theory. Yep. But if you're a Pirates, a Royals, a Miami fan, you're done. It's over. Forget about it. Bruce was so psyched about this yesterday.
Oh yeah, this must have been his highlight of the hockey season. I thought that was a good move. Okay.
Thank you.
I guess they packed it in, huh? Boston?
They got rid of somebody else, too. I just saw another guy they got rid of.
Charlie Coyle. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I know they've been, kind of, well, let's see. Let's get the standings. They've been kind of,
They're 28 and something.
Yeah, they've been dancing around the wild card spot. They're only 3 back, but they got to hurdle 3 teams on the way there. I guess they're just figuring, you know what? We've aged out. It's time to move on, start over. It's kind of weird, though, because they've been dominant for
for a long time.
9, 10 years now. Actually, more. They won that cup in 11, right?
Yep.
So, decade and a half of pretty much, being one of the top teams in the league. That catches up to you after a while, and it's time to rebuild.
Do you know what the Bruins are going to be now?
Yeah,
they're going to
be the Penguins.
No, they're going to be a line my brother said a couple of weeks ago. They're going to be mired in mediocrity.
Oh, maybe not.
I don't.
Bruce, they're an original 6 team.
Original 6 hockey is the best hockey.
So
bar none. bar none.
That's attractive to a free agent. But hockey players are a different
for
breed.
sure. Yeah.
They're a different breed. Hockey players embrace traditions. Hockey players respect history of the game. You ask a modern football player, half the time they don't know who played a decade before them, much less Red Grange. So it's different in hockey, and I think that Boston can rebuild a lot quicker than, say, Buffalo. Even though Buffalo, they're not an original six, and they've been around for 50 years, but the Sabres have had a hell of a time trying to put that team back together.
Mm-hmm. Who was that guy that was on Buffalo that was like Mr. Everything? Was Perot? What was his name? Oh,
Yeah.
Gilbert Perot. I can't remember. He was like Mr. Everything for Buffalo in the 70s.
Yeah. Yeah. I just think I see our friend Adam Castracane from time to time. And Adam's a big Buffalo fan. He's so frustrated because every time it looks like they're on their way, to a successful rebuild, they take 3 steps back and they got to start over again. Yeah. But the Dallas Stars, I'm going to try to catch. I'm going to be in Dallas next week for work, and they are home against the Anaheim Ducks. I think I'm going to try to get over there and catch the game. They picked up Mikko Rantanen. I can't speak, which is huge. The Hurricanes got rid of him. So there were a couple of shocking deals at the deadline, but I know Bruce is more interested in this right now.
Oh yeah, it's crazy down here. It is absolutely. He's 9 behind.
Wow.
It says 10 on here, but 10.
He's got 10 to pass him.
Yeah, 10 to pass.
Jeez. Wow.
Something that Wayne Gretzky's goal record I thought would never be touched.
Right.
Because you got to have longevity, and it looked like to me like 2 or 3 years ago that Ovechkin might be on his way down. Like he had a couple of kind of average years, didn't look as dominant anymore. But boy, these last 2 seasons, holy moly, he looks like the old Ovechkin again.
Yeah, he's playing with a little chip on his shoulder.
It's crazy. You've seen the highlight over and over, and he'll probably 900 goals. Let's say, like 700 of them have been scored from the same spot. He's at the top of that face-off circle on the right-hand side, and he just lets it rip. And it's unstoppable. It's an unstoppable shot. It's crazy.
It's like back in the day with Gretzky, which I thought the New York Rangers was really cool. The back of the goal, they put a 99 superimposed there because that's where Gretzky did all his damage. He was like, just wait back there and say, okay, someone's going to be open now. He would patch it and get an assist. We go,
they called it his office. Gretzky's
right,
office.
Because he was amazing from back there.
Not only would he could distribute the puck for assists from back there, but a lot of times he'd pass it from back there and then circle around and be in the perfect spot to get the goal. Gretzky has that famous saying that a lot of people in corporate America use now, and when they're trying to plan ahead, it's you don't skate to where the puck is, you skate to where the puck is
it's going to be. Yeah.
And that's what made him that much better, because he was a small guy. Gretzky's not a big guy. And back then, of course, they had the enforcers. So you had Asa Tikkanen right next to him to kick the crap out of whoever looked at him wrong. But
excuse me.
But he was just so smart, and he could anticipate the play better than just about anybody. And before we move on hockey, can I just bring up one quick thing?
Of course.
Edson, our high school had one of the better seasons they've ever had this year.
Couldn't believe it.
They're 14-4-2.
I didn't realize they were like so big at hockey there.
Yeah. What's amazing, look at their goals against in 20 games was 39. That's 1.9 goals against the game. And they came in ranked 11th in the state. So they start their tournament right here as the 6th seed.
Wow.
Right here on Tuesday, which sucks. I'll be away. If they win, then they play again on Friday. If they win that, they'll play in the semis at Quinnipiac on following Tuesday, and then the finals will be at Quinnipiac that weekend. So that'd be cool.
That's pretty good for you guys. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. They won the states back in 19, which was really cool because there's 2 high schools in our hometown of Wallingford, Connecticut. Yep. And that year, through the entire state tournament, it ended up that those 2 teams played each other in the tournament.
That would be awesome.
No, that's exactly what happened in 19. And Lyman Hall beat Sheehan, which was the other side of the town for the championship. Sheehan no longer has a hockey team.
They took their fucking went home?
No, they couldn't get enough kids, so they're in a co-op. They're part of East Haven High School. They merged.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, unfortunately. So, NBA news. Any big news? Well, there's that.
Oh, I have a question. I have a question for you guys.
Yep.
What did Stephen A. Smith say?
I was going to bring that up, actually. So, apparently, Stephen A. has been banging on the Lakers and Bronny James since the draft.
Yeah.
Because
okay.
In his opinion, and I agree, the Lakers wasted a draft pick on a kid who's not NBA. NBA player.
Right.
It's a nepotism move, and it's because LeBron James pretty much runs the team, which to me is why Danny Hurley didn't want that job. I mean, because the Lakers threw back of the money truck. And who wouldn't want to be the head coach of the LA Lakers? You got the Celtics, the Lakers, and everybody else, right? Or it's the Celtics, Lakers, Knicks, and everybody else. So the only thing I can think of is Danny Hurley didn't want to deal with LeBron and the control.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, it's another Aaron Rodgers thing, except way worse.
Right. So,
right.
Exactly. That's a great analogy.
That's a great point. That's a very good point.
So what happened was Stephen A. alluded to the fact that like LeBron James went up to him. Like instead of like Stephen A. said, he's got my number. He can call me. He can text me. I'll fly out and have lunch with him if he wants to talk. He waits till Stephen's at a game, and then LeBron goes up to him and starts screaming at him courtside to get away from his kid and stop saying that stuff. Now, as a parent, you get it, but the bottom line is, like Stephen A. said, Bronny's a grown man. He's a professional basketball player. He can protect himself at this point. And if
you're at that level, that's it. You need to be. You can't just be. Someone put an umbrella over the whole time. Jeez.
And it kind of LeBron acting that way almost reinforces the idea.
Exactly.
He forced them to draft that kid, despite the kid not being good enough to play. I'm just quickly looking here. I want to find Bronny's stats here. Bronny's stats.
Boy.
Oh, I can't click on his name. Hang on. Let me see this team roster. I went to the stats page on the Lakers. Yeah, this is better. Let me see here. Boy, you got to scroll all the way to the bottom to find him. Wait a minute. Where is he? He's not even here. Wait, where is he? Here, Bronny James, player stats. All right, let me share this. So he's averaging 1.4 points a game, half a rebound, and that's it. So like if you look at here's his last 5 games, he's gotten 12 minutes, 2 minutes, 6 minutes, 8. I mean, he's the 12th man on the bench. He's the last resort. I mean, it must be cool for LeBron to have his kid on the team, but this is not a Griffey situation, right?
Oh
no.
So the Lakers are playing kind of shorthanded. They're down a man because they're giving this guy a roster spot who probably should be in the developmental league, not here. Yeah. So I guess that's what, LeBron took us in a huff and took it to Stephen A. And, and Stephen A. said he was sitting there with, who was he sitting with? Larry David and somebody else.
Oh,
and
man.
big scene took place, and Stephen A. didn't get upset. He's like, I forgive him. I get it. He's upset as a parent, but the reality is that was the wrong place and time, and and Bronny's a big boy. Just doesn't need his dad to come to his rescue anymore.
I mean, and what does he expect? Stephen A's got a job to do. He's not going to ignore situations like that. It's like kind of obvious out there.
Yeah.
As long as he's respectful about it, I guess.
And I saw Bronny James. Bronny James took a swipe back at Stephen A today or yesterday on Twitter. Trying to find it. Anyway, but he basically said, basically said to Stephen A, guy who couldn't play ball, has too much to say about it. Something to that effect.
Yeah. All right.
But then you have stuff like, whoops, that's not it. Let me do this. Like Clay Travis says, Bronny is the worst player in the NBA, and the only reason he's in the league is because LeBron demanded it, and now LeBron's mad at the media for pointing it out.
Wow.
That's pretty much, that kind of sums it up, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's like this. I just read somewhere, I haven't used this line in a while. Stephen A. Smith is getting paid. He just signed a new contract with ESPN for $100 million. And I'm like, it said, okay, Bronny, you're an asshole. I'm getting paid. I know what I'm doing. I'm number one at what I do. And I'm going to do what I do.
He's getting paid because of those. Like, he's not afraid to deal, to talk about these situations. He's not going to avoid things just because of controversy. So that's who he is.
I loved the Stephen A. Smith show on ESPN. I'm still pissed off they took it off because Stephen A. Smith was being himself.
Well, he has his own podcast now too.
Yeah,
catch him there.
Okay.
What I've always admired about Stephen A., and I've seen it a lot in the last couple months, especially. He's a truth teller, right?
Mm-hmm.
At least he speaks. He's not afraid to say what he thinks.
He's very passionate.
He will stand by, whether he's right or wrong. He will still own whatever he says, and it takes a big man to admit when he's wrong.
Yeah.
It takes a big man to stand by unpopular statements in the face of the heat that he gets sometimes, and he'll go on anybody's show anywhere.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He'll show up on The View. He'll go on Fox News.
Yeah.
He'll go on.
He'll go everywhere. Yeah.
He goes everywhere.
Right.
Because I think he's a good person.
So do I.
And he always says that his mama raised him the right way, and clearly she did. So I can't fault Stephen A. for anything. I get that a lot of his stuff is gimmicky and a shtick thing, but at the same time, it's entertaining, and that's what you want is entertainment, right?
And that's what you want. That's what he wants.
And he does like the hammer on the cowboy. So.
Oh, yeah, that's the best.
That is the best.
Oh, you know what? I'll admit I'm not a big NBA guy either, but I did see this. I might mispronounce this. Don't kill me. Nikola Jokic. The first time at 30-20-20 yesterday.
Yes. Yeah, last night.
Wow. Okay.
Wait. What is this you speak?
From the Denver Nuggets, right?
Yeah.
He did 30-20-20. I saw that. First pops in my screen.
History.
Oh yeah, here it is. Let me put this up here.
I just saw that the other day.
Jokic.
Not the other day. I saw it yesterday.
Jokic and what's his face? Oh my God, I can't think of their two names at the same time on my head. The guy from the Lakers,
Doncic.
Yeah.
Luka Doncic and Nikola Jokic. Oh my God! See,
they call him the Joker, so I guess it's
the Joker.
The Joker, yeah. Now, those two guys are almost like the same player.
Yeah.
They have almost the same name. Like you can't say their name. I task you both to say Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic. Back to
Luka Doncic with Nikola Jokic.
It's hard to do.
I have to process it in my head.
You do.
You have to have it processed for a minute. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, crazy, man. 30 points, 20 rebounds, 20 assists. That's and here I want to say this because this actually goes back to the Ovechkin watch here. This is with these two games going international. Look what we get, right? We've got a guy from Russia. If Sergei Fedorov never defects in 1988 to go play for the Devils, right?
Yep.
or Fetisov, whatever his name was. Was it Fetisov? Fetisov. We never get Ovechkin going after Gretzky's record. If
Right.
the NBA doesn't branch out globally with the Olympics and stuff like that, we never get this, right?
Right. And you wouldn't have now I can't say the word Giannis and Giannis. You wouldn't have him coming from Greece.
The Greek freak. That's easier to say.
Right, the Greek the Joker.
Their nicknames are easier to say, sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I can't say that dude's name from Milwaukee either. But he's he's fantastic.
The guy, the Joker. I mean, I'm sorry, this sounds wrong, but I apologize. Why does the Joker always look like he's like 5 seconds away from having a bloody nose?
Yeah, his nose is always red. It's weird.
It's like, what are you doing, man? What's going on?
Yeah, what is he doing before the game?
But the funniest thing, did you hear what he said after they won the NBA championship 2 years ago? They interviewed him.
No.
They interviewed him. He said, sir, you won the NBA championship. Are you excited? No, I want to go home to Serbia. It was like the robotic voice. It was like, I want to go home, see my family in Serbia, celebrate with them. Parade is over. Let's go home.
That's funny.
Well, maybe that's why he grew up in a totally different environment. That's why his nose is all red in our environment. I don't know.
Maybe it's cold outside.
So their season is winding down too. We got the NBA playoffs coming up.
Yeah.
We got and of course March Madness.
Oh yeah.
But first conference tournaments. So I know Bruce,
Auburn. Yep, Auburn and Duke.
Bruce and actually all three of us like to wax poetic about the old Big East.
Yeah, I know nothing about college basketball. Only college basketball team now I follow is the UConn women.
Really?
Being honest.
Wow.
Because at the same time Keith was doing his internship in 94, I was doing my internship at TIC the year UConn Huskies won in 95. So I got to walk in the parade, which was pretty cool.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Wow.
Yeah. That was when Rebecca Lobo was playing and everything. Yeah, because I worked with oh my gosh, my boy, Joe D'Ambrosio.
Oh, I like Joe. Yeah, good guy.
Yeah, and Arnold Dean with the sports department, so I got to hang out with them.
Arnold Dean, that's going back.
Yeah, he passed away.
Yeah,
he passed away.
Kira Walters was on that team, and I've worked with her brother Ray, who is also 7'2". I took Ray to lunch one day, and he got in my car, and the poor guy, his knees were in his chin, and he had the seat all the way back, and yeah.
I've got a cute. I mean, this is off the rails, but I got a cute broadcasting story. If you guys want to hear it,
yeah.
I was doing my internship.
Oh, look at the time.
We have no time for your story now. We'll come back to you. I was doing my college internship at TIC, like I said, and this older gentleman walks in by the studio, and Ray Dunaway, who was doing the morning thing, and said, "I want you to meet somebody." And I said, "Okay." So he walks into this guy's office and he says, "Bob, this is Bruce Blue, our new intern." It was Bob Steele. And if anyone knows Hartford radio, he was there since Moses crossed the Red Sea. Okay. He was there.
Even.
Huh?
Might have been before that even.
Right. Yeah. They said, "What's there?" Everybody said, Bob said, "Damn, it's so bright." Anyway. So I met Bob Steele and he puts his hand out, I shake his hand. He says, "Oh, here's the new intern, Bruce Blue. Don't change your name. You'll go places with that. I like it." I'm like, I just got anointed. It was like a light came down. It was pretty cool to me because he was Hartford radio for a long time.
He was. So was Arnold Dean. Those two guys were on forever.
Yeah, Arnold Dean was a good dude.
So, well, I'm sorry you don't follow, Bruce, but this is a great time of year for college hoops, and
Yeah, right now it's
we'll check
time.
the women's rankings too. Auburn hangs on to number 1, even though they've lost 2 games now. You're seeing a lot more parity too in this top 25. I mean, UConn only has what 6 losses, right?
And they're
Or
not even in
9 total, and they're not even here.
Yep.
In fact, in the AP top 25, they didn't even. Oh, they did. They got 4 votes for top 25, and in the coaches poll, they got 10.
Is North Carolina men's team in there?
Yeah, la la la.
I mean, they're always usually
no, they're
somewhere there, but
no.
I guess it's Duke's year this year.
Another quick story. The coach for North Carolina went to my high school.
Really?
Hubert Davis. He graduated class of '87.
Wow.
So I mean, even though I can't stand North Carolina, I always root for him.
I kind of liked him ever since Dean Smith was there, and Duke is the school I can't tolerate.
Oh,
well, they're there every year.
I know every freaking.
And I think not a big surprise, but kind of a surprise. St. John's is like what 6, 5 or 6.
Yeah, Rick Pitino. He took over 2 years ago.
He revitalized.
Oh, I forgot.
In 2 years.
Yep.
My God, they were a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
In there,
and they play mostly just by hustling. That's like their defense is phenomenal. I mean, they do have issues on the offensive, throwing free throws and their threes kind of clunk off.
Right.
So their offense is kind of like, not there yet, but man, I don't know any other team that has a better defense than them.
No,
I just remember the days of here we go.
Luke Carnesecca.
Yeah, I was going to say, did he inherit the sweater or something like that? And he used to play in St. John's Arena. It was like a barn type of thing back in the day when the Big East was. That's when. I mean, Keith and I were talking about it. It's like it was so exciting because it was real basketball.
Pitino was coaching then,
right?
You had Pitino in there. You had Jim Calhoun. You had
Thompson. John Thompson
with the towel over his shoulder. You had
Boeheim. Boeheim was there.
Boeheim, right.
You had PJ Carlissimo. You had it was awesome. It was like every coach. The coaches were as big stars as the players on their teams.
Yeah, I remember the coaches more than the players.
Right.
And the teams play. It was. Okay, one more time, showing my age. I think you guys probably remember it was like on ESPN they had the big Monday games, and you didn't want to miss. It was like it was always the Big East, big Monday, and it was like, and these teams went after each other.
They did. They did. It was There's a great documentary, one of those ESPN 30 for 30s called Requiem for the Big East.
I have to watch it again.
It's worth multiple viewings. It's that good. And if anybody watching grew up during that time in the late 80s, early 90s of Big East basketball, I was at the Big East tournament in 96. And the final game came and I was at the last game, and it was UConn, Georgetown.
Oh.
Ray Allen, Allen Iverson, marquee matchup, and it came down to a last minute shot. Ray Allen won the game on a last minute bucket where he was falling off balance and threw it up. When it left his hands, I went, no, and it went in, and I went, yeah. I have the ticket in the program somewhere.
Wow.
And then the Big East kind of fell apart right after that. It was kind of over, and it's a shame because, man, and it's sort of back. Sort of, but you don't have the Pitt, the Boston colleges. There's still some Syracuse. They're not in there, still. They're in the ACC.
But I remember, I think I'm not sure if this is right. Could you imagine a front court of Dikembe Mutombo, Patrick Ewing, and Alonzo Mourning?
Well, no, because Ewing left when the other two came in, but.
Oh, but with those two, it's like, okay, Alonzo Mourning's out. Okay, here comes Mutombo.
I saw them both. I had season tickets to UConn back then, and I saw them both play against UConn. And I got to say, Rod Sellers, who was
I remember him. Yeah,
he was a 6'9" forward, but they had to play him at center because he was the biggest guy they had, UConn at the time. He played really well against Alonzo Mourning. In fact, that year that they went to it was the year after the Clemson game, UConn, the Tate George shot. It was the year after.
I remember him too. Yeah,
they played against LSU in the tournament, and Shaquille O'Neal was the center for LSU, and Rod Sellers had to play against Shaq, and he held up against him. And Shaq,
really?
Yeah, he played really well against Shaq. I mean, Shaq is still going to get his points, of course. It's Shaquille O'Neal, but I was shocked at how good Rod Sellers held up against him as a 6'9" small forward, really playing center. Yeah, like we could. This is why I love the tournament too. Like last year or the last couple of years, of course, with UConn winning,
Yeah,
it's been great. Don't think they have much of a shot this year. I say Sweet 16 for them. They're young. There's too many freshmen and sophomores on that team.
So we have the regional tournaments first, obviously. And
yes.
Then, that right after that, they do the
yeah, I'll look that up. I just wanted to put up the ladies rankings.
Yep. The ladies. Yep.
UConn Huskies are holding it third in both polls.
That's good.
This might be the last year for Gino Auriemma, I guess, right?
Really?
I think so too.
I hear he's leaving with Paige Beckers. Yeah. Hopefully they can win the whole thing and he can walk out the door champion for the 12th time.
One thing you're talking about basketball?
Yeah.
I know it's not like what you call a big sport, but we have to give our props to a UConn alum for Diana Taurasi. She was
good.
She
call.
retired.
Yeah.
Yeah, they call her the GOAT of WNBA, which is probably true because she played one team whole year, her whole existence. So
yeah,
she was great at UConn too, as I remember.
42 years old. She won 3 titles with UConn, right?
Mm-hmm.
3 gold medals with Team USA and 3 championships with Phoenix. If I'm correct, okay. I believe she's won 3 with each.
And now it's time for something we haven't heard in a long time. Stat of the day. Keith just gave us the stat of the day.
If I'm wrong on any, it's the WNBA. She might have more than 3, but I know
she's got 5. I'm not really sure,
but I know she's got 3 gold medals and 3 college championships.
I mean, to have 3 college championships out of those such a short time you're there. Wow, I forgot about that.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking up the So the college basketball regular season ends this weekend. Like UConn is playing their last game today against Seton Hall, or as I call them, Cheaton Hall. And then they go into their conference tournaments. So
okay,
actually, here I got this. It's close enough. Let me just. I know we're coming down on time here, Edson. So, whoops. So, this Wednesday, this is the Big Ten one, but this would apply to the Big East tournament and the ACC tournament and all of them. So you'll get the conference tournament starting midweek this coming week. And then the championship games will be next weekend. And then the NCAA tournament play-in games will start, that Tuesday or Wednesday, which would be the 18th, 19th. And then the actual tournament, as we call it, the actual tournament starts that Thursday, which would be the 20th.
Everything just is so compressed into such a
right.
So, yeah, because the national championship game, I believe, is something like April 9th or something like April 7th.
Wow!
One magic moment.
All within everything happens all within a month, and it's like, geez.
Yeah.
Keith, to update, she won 6 Olympic gold medals.
Gold medals, yeah.
6 gold medals?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, you were right about the 3.
The 3 championships with UConn and 3 with Phoenix. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, so I knew there was 2 threes in there somewhere.
Yeah. 6
All right.
gold medals.
And as we know, 2 times 3 is 6. So I mean,
And ladies and gentlemen, Edson learned that from multiplication rock.
Schoolhouse Rock, baby.
and then just
There you go.
Just get it. It's like you said, the finals are like the 9th, and it's like, what do we have? The NFL draft like right after that.
The NFL
That's right.
Baseball season starts the last week of the tournament. Baseball season starts.
Everything just just
Stanley Cup playoffs start in early April. You got the NBA playoffs starting in April. So it's going to be buckle up, man, if we're sports fans.
Right.
And
we're here to bring it to you live and in color.
We got plenty to talk about during the
That's right.
So, and again, just to reiterate, and you see it scrolling on the bottom, if you're watching this on replay, this still applies. If you want to be on our show, just DM us on the Twitter machine and at GeekTime Net, and we'll slug you in. We'd love to have talk with us. That'd be great. And it's, as you can see, there's no real structure. We're just gonna and talk about whatever comes to mind. So.
And Edson might go away for a couple minutes, and the future Edson might pop in, and it's live.
There is that attraction too. So I mean, it's like, if you want to see that.
And we got to do our brackets at some point, like when the tournament gets announced. And, that's always fun. So, and we'll take viewer brackets as well. You want to compete against this.
Selection Sunday.
Edson will win, but
Edson will win. Yeah, he's the Detroit Tigers of our show.
Not sure if I'm good with the brackets.
Okay, so remember, guys, the championship game for the NCAA is probably April 8th or 9th.
It's a Monday.
Okay.
I'll have my picks in on the 10th properly.
And so we'll break it down for you on the 10th with the final score.
Yes, and I'll have my full bracket for you on April 10th.
It would be the 7th. April 7th would be the title.
All right, I might get it in by the 8th then.
On my dad's 90th birthday, so we're looking down at this Edson saying, "Go ahead, son. We got this."
I can comfortably say.
Wait, did you just say your dad's birthday was on April 8th?
Yeah.
That's my dad's birthday. He passed away.
That was my dad's birthday. That's crazy.
That was my dad's birthday too.
Wow.
And my favorite player of all time, John Havlicek, that was his birthday.
Oh wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
We all know what Keith's birthday is, so we got screened for it, so I'm not gonna mention it anymore.
Thank you. Thank you. I know I do appreciate that.
No, you don't.
No,
you don't.
It's got screened for it.
Gave my birthdays away. I don't have anymore.
Yeah. He got traded away like Brad Marchand. Go to West. Go away.
That's just it.
Birthdays with you. Go. Wow, this got derailed fast.
Go play hockey in Miami. Get out of here.
Get out of here. Yep. Yeah.
I think the Panthers got to be they got to be a favorite to repeat now, huh?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, real quick, did anyone see the picture of Dan Lebertard beating the drum at the Panthers game?
No.
Oh, you had to. Oh, I'll send it to you.
Find it. Panthers. See if I can find it because I know you both have to go in about 2 minutes or less.
Yeah.
No. Oh, this. I see this. Let me see. Is that it?
No. When he actually beats the drum, he gets psychotic look.
Oh, jeez.
I'll say when I stop
right.
it.
He's a Miami guy. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, they looks like they want to do whatever they can to grab another Stanley Cup before it falls apart down there.
Definitely.
And then they're back to averaging 5,500 per game.
Right.
Those Miami sports fans, you know how they are, Edson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I know you two guys got a boogie. This was fun.
It was.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, thank you. It was a lot of fun.
we'll be back. I think we agreed bi-weekly for the off season.
Right.
Unless you guys change your mind, let me know.
Okay.
But our next show, that means our next show will be, let me check the calendar.
The 22nd.
The 22nd. All right. So
well, I mean, you got the free agency also is going to be started by then. So
free agency starts this week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The tampering period ends Monday, right?
Yep. Okay.
So you're going to see a flurry of signings on Monday and Tuesday. We could always hop on during the week and do a quick special edition if it gets that crazy.
But yeah, if it has a lot of
if there's a lot of zing and sizzle and we don't want to wait all the way till the 22nd, it'll be old.
Okay.
So you guys let me know and we'll make that happen. Again, if you want to be a guest on the show, let us know. All right. That's it for me. Anybody else?
That's it for me.
All right. Catch you guys later.
Take care.
Yes, I think no. Yes, the joyfulness is over. The joyfulness is over.
Thanks for watching GeekTime TV. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe, make sure to check the little bell icon anytime someone from our network drops new content here. Want some GeekTime swag? Check out the merchandise available in the GeekTime TV store, linked in the channel description below. Share GeekTime TV with friends, and as always, thank you for your support. We'll see you soon.